Hello and welcome to another Miniatures Monday Ramble. Not sure that was the right order to say it, but oh well. It's me, as always, Doc Eon, here to ramble on this, the last Monday of the year, the 30th of December, 2019, coming to a close. And again, the lighting is kind of harsh because there is no natural light. It's an overcast, boring day, even though the sun is up. But, you know, we are past the winter solstice, and the days should start getting lighter, hopefully, as long as they stop being so cloudy. The first thing I've painted up here is those Gale Force 9 minis from the Icewind Dale adventure. God, I forget the name of it. Anyway, it's characters, it's NPCs from a specific module. And so I've tried to paint them up to represent those characters a little bit. This guy is supposed to have red hair, for example. And the Ice Witch is supposed to be kind of frosty. This is just a wolf. I painted it a little bit more on the brownish side than the artwork on the box, which was more in the gray range, because I thought the rocks are gray, so gray on gray. Sorry. This white, or whatever he is difficult not to paint all black because he is supposed to be all in black. Tried to get some highlights on there, and I can see he is, interestingly, the matte varnish didn't take as much on this guy. Which might be good. I mean, the shine gives a few extra highlights. Then there's this dwarf with his really complex armor that is extremely hard to paint in a way that comes across, because the way it's cast, it's just super fine lines and details. Making those pop is really hard. But as I've mentioned before, I'm not a huge fan of the way Gale Force 9 sculpts or casts human and humanoid figures, and I've stopped buying them. These are the last that I have. Well, actually, the Rimmer has, which is not finished this week, is the very last Gale Force 9 model I have. But the thing is, the Rimmer has is a big monster, and I still like those from this company, and I can see myself buying more of them in the future, but I don't want to buy any more of these human or demi-human figures, because I don't like the way they make them. And some of them, I mean, these looked fine in the artwork, at least. I mean, there were some that I avoided. I mean, not to name names, but geez, Count Strahd, their Strahd von Zarovich model, it's just so ugly. How could anybody buy that thing? Oh well, not okay. Let's not slag off GF9 anymore. These are done. Let's see what else is done in the wintry theme. And voila, we have a bunch of more people with snow bases. These seem to be the last minis with snow bases, I think. Oh, except for the Rimmer has. Yeah, that's still going to be a wintry themed figure, and it's not quite done yet. But anyway, these are the sort of Vikings. And yeah, still picks at the end. I sort of these red box minis have a lot of intricate detail, but because they're metal, they're a bit easier to paint than those resin G-Force 9 stuff, and it turned out better, I think, overall. Maybe I should have done something more colorful with the shields. Just went with simple. It's supposed to look like hide shields, like leather covered. There's obviously wood underneath, but with the leather covering. Could have gone with painted shields, but didn't feel like it. They were not. These are not going to be main characters. They're like NPCs or like run-of-the-mill opponents, perhaps. Yeah. The final bunch of figures that got done this week, for a grand total of 17. More Redbox minis. I placed these separately because they're not Vikings. These are all like wizards or sorcerers of some kind. I didn't fit with the wintry theme, so they just have grass on their bases. And yeah, these I love. I really like painting robes and cloaks because, well, I've developed reasonably good techniques for those, I feel. I think they look good. Oh, oops, this one is a bit glossy still. I still have trouble with getting stuff matte enough. But I don't know what it is. None of the cans of matte varnish are working as they should. Probably has to do with the weather. But, well, it's not bad. It's just that I have really intense lighting right now, and that makes any little bit of sheen pop out quite a lot. So in more normal lighting conditions, probably nobody will notice. Anyway, these guys were fun, and that was it for the finished stuff. We move on to the work table.
Well, with all those minis completed, there's not a lot left from last week. We only have these 4 Redbox minis, the 3 ladies and the friar, and the Remmerhaz. And the Remmerhaz is a lighter blue color now than last time. I've put down a base coat of I believe it's electric blue from Vallejo Game Color. So we're getting closer to the final look. This is more of the actual base coat, and it's time to highlight it up to near white, not all the way to white, but it'll be a very, very light blue with some hints of gray, I believe. I think it's the main color I'm going to use is this, the Glacier Blue, also from Game Color. That's what it will end up as. Yeah.
Also, all of these mimics, and as with the previous set, there's two copies of each model. One like this is a minecart, normal minecart, and then it's in mimic form. So all of these are in 2 versions. So this one is just a box, and then a mimic appearing out of the box, just some tentacles. And these have been primed, they've been assembled. In the case of the wells, that was the most complicated assembly. And as you can see, perhaps see, there's been some undercoating here, some really dark colors on a few of them, not all of them yet. They're just barely started. But, you know, this is the kind of thing I can speed paint. They will not take a lot of time.
And not quite as far along in prep, but getting there. We have these cultists, these tentacled dudes that I've cleaned up. There was very little cleanup. These Midland Miniatures figures are usually pretty well cast, and this set in particular had like 0 mold lines. I mean, at all. It was dead easy. And I based them using the Madness pattern roller from Green Stuff World. They don't quite match my old cultists. So I've had 2 sets of these painted up previously because I didn't have that roller at that point, and those are just based on cobblestone basis. But whatever. I didn't want to be limited by that. Now the Shoggoths, they have a slight overhang on these bases, a few places where they're over the lip there. But I didn't want to go to one base size higher. These are 40 mils. I didn't want to go all the way up to 50 mil because there would have been so much empty space then. So I'll live with it. And I'll prime them. And because they all have the same paint scheme, and it's a very simple one, it's 3 colors. I have one color for the robe, one for the hood, and one for the tentacles. In the cases, some of them have remnants of human hands still. That's a 4th color. And then some of them have a little equipment. But it's like 3 main colors. And it goes very quickly. So they might even be finished next week.
Well, what have we here? A Christmas gift from Reaper Minis. This is my order, well, actually the first of 2 orders that I placed in December from Reaper. I placed this one as part of their actual promotion during the 12 days of Christmas, where you got special Christmas minis depending on how much you ordered for, and some bonus stuff. No point really going through the details of how it worked. If you were there for it, you know. If you weren't, you don't. No point explaining it. Anyway, let's unpack all this stuff, shall we? And the first thing I need to unpack is this Christmas sampler, which I have not yet opened. Contains a festive sampling of holiday treats. Well, let's open it up. I'll do this off camera. So this little bag contains a bunch of stuff. It has a Christmas ornament, a blue one this time, 2019. I have a green and red one since before. One mini, which is a Christmas themed mini this time, Mrs. Klaus. Unfortunately, this one I already own, but you know, I've collected all of their, as many of their Christmas minis as I've managed to get hold of, so this is perhaps not so surprising. Oh well, duplicate of that. We have 2 paints, Holly Berry and Christmas Wreath, which I believe, let me check. Yes, these are included in the holiday paint set that I got last year that I haven't even started using yet. But now that I have these as extras, maybe I can use them for something. And a few pieces of candy. Well, thank you for that, Reaper. What else do we have here? I also got, these were in here as loose minis. I think these are from the Bone Sylvanian lines. These are like chibi movie monsters. This is Dracula and the creature from the Black Lagoon. I don't have any immediate use for these, but oh well, bonuses, whatever. Next we have some Bones Black stuff, which is because I reached a certain number of dollars or euros ordered, so they would want to give me 3 bonus minis. There were only 2 different ones left because all the rest were out of stock when I got around to this. It was the new one, Ashana the Genie and Brother Hammond the Monk. So since I already painted one of Brother Hammond, I chose one of him and 2 of this new mini. I'll be getting a 3rd of her soon, unfortunately, but oh well. It's a very nice mini, so maybe it doesn't really matter that I have multiples of her. Then let's see if we can find the actual Christmas minis I got. The ones that are only available at certain times of year. And it's these. The Winter Fairy. I think her name is Joy. 2019 Cat Dragon, who is sitting in a small Christmas tree. And Santa's Helpers, which are 3 very large Christmas tree ornaments with arms and legs. Yeah. So that's them. Let's put all this aside. And then we come to all the stuff that I had to order in order to get up to the amount of euros required to get all these bonus minis. And what I did for that was getting a lot of large minis that I wanted for various projects. And you can start by picking out these ogres from the Pathfinder line. We have all the Hook Mountain ogres. This is Hook Mountain Ogre 2, Hook Mountain Ogre number 1, Hookmaw Krieg, and Dorella Krieg, Ogre Shaman. These are all from the Rise of the Rune Lords adventure path, or intended for use in that. So I got them because I as I've mentioned, I'm collecting minis to one day eventually run that. And I think most of the rest of these are monsters that will occur in another adventure path, namely the Kingmaker one. We have a Burrowing Horror, which is some sort of line shark. It's just a head and a couple of claws that you have to build a base for them so that it's coming out of the ground to make it look reasonable. Here's a Bones Air Elemental. I have some more elemental. I should have some more air elementals. Yes. Here's a Metal Wind Elemental. And another Metal Air Elemental. We have a Bones Medium Fire Elemental. Continuing the trend, we have Metal Water Elemental. Another Water Elemental. This one looking like a big wave. We have a Manticore in metal. Big chunk of metal here. And finally, the last piece, a Chimera, also in metal. Wow. A lot of stuff. What am I going to do with all this? Well, actually, I'm going to put it all away. The Christmas minis will go in the whatchamacallit, the Christmas mini box for next year. And the big monsters I'll save for, when I get around to it, when they become useful in play, when I start seeing that, okay, in the role-playing campaign I'm running right now, maybe 2 or 3 weeks in the future, I'll need these minis. Okay, better start painting them. But I think I will put a few of them into production right now. Specifically, I think I'm going to do some of the Bones minis. So I'm going to do the Fire Elemental, the Bones Air Elemental, not the metal ones, and 1 copy of the Genie. That will get started. So I have some big monster projects ready for next week. But I think I'll have to add something else. Let's see, what can we do? So to add a few more minis to my upcoming projects, not too many because the week, not this coming week, but the week after, which is the week I'm prepping these for, is the week I go back to work. So my schedule will not be as free for painting as it is this coming week. But anyway, a few more, as I said. And I pulled out a few from my collection of Heresy miniatures, still on the adventurers kind of trip. So this is a cleric with a warhammer. This is a kind of, I think it's a ranger with a bow. He's in many pieces here. So you see the head is separate there, but he's standing and holding a bow. And here's some barbarian with a sword, bare-chested dude. And I also found in the depths of my collection a single miniature from a company called, I don't know if this is the company or Avatars of War, War Throne. I think Avatars of War is the company, yes. And War Throne is a game, maybe? I think I only have this single mini from them, which I think I bought just to try them out, and then I never got around to painting it. It's called the Naga Queen, and it is a multi-part metal mini with, well, I'll put together. It's like a snake body and a woman's head. I think it's the upper torso is human, and it's just a snake from the waist down. Anyway, you'll see it assembled next week. And I think that will be enough. I'll play it by ear. I mean, I actually am planning to finish a lot of stuff in this upcoming week. So we'll see. We'll see if I need to add even more as we go. But anyway, because we're coming to the close of the year, I'm not going to do a separate wrap-up video because we are only one day away from New Year's. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find a way to show you the stats for every year since I started this project, which was 2015, is when I started keeping track. And we will look at the finished numbers and then discuss a little bit my plans for 2020. So stick around for that. Well. So this was a good year, you might say, in that I had the most positive difference between painted and purchased ever. Still a lot of stuff purchased, but you know, the reason I'm so deep in the red was that one year when my statistics went through the floor, so to speak. That was a year when I received a Bones Kickstarter, plus I purchased as much as I usually do anyway. So what I've learned this year is I can't do that, because the thing is, if you take this year's numbers and you remove the Bones 4 Kickstarter from it, I didn't buy a lot. It's like less than 200 minis that were not from that Kickstarter. And so the lesson is, if I can keep that up next year, because the next Kickstarter, the Bones 5, will not arrive until 2021. So if in 2020 I can paint 500 minis like I did this year and buy only 200, again like I did this year, that's a difference of 300, and that's going to close the gap. That's going to take away, this is going to bring balance to the force again, so to speak. And I'll be back where I started, approximately. I mean, I had some unpainted minis when I started keeping track of those numbers, so, and I don't know how many. But let me put it this way: if I accomplish my goal for 2020, maybe at the end of 2020 I can actually do an inventory and look up exactly how many unpainted minis I still have at that point. Not promising anything, it might still be an overwhelming task, but you know, that seems like something that would be interesting to do. Yeah. Life goals. Anyway, that ends this episode. That ends this year. Thank you for sticking with me for so long. I'm going to wish you a happy new year. Happy start to the new year. And I'll see you the first Monday in January. Same day, same channel, same Dakion. Again, a very happy new year. But for now, I'm signing off.